Well, welcome everybody. Thank you for attending tonight. This is our Legendary Rivers with Viking Cruises presentation, and we are going to be talking about the world of Viking cruises this evening. So without further ado, I'm going to jump right into it, tell you a little bit about ourselves. But first of all, let's do some what we call netiquette. All audience members are muted, specifically for the reason you're seeing on the screen. If I was at home right now and a leaf blew by, you would certainly know it. You would hear these two. So I keep everybody muted during the presentation. It cuts down any background noise, emergency vehicles, etc. You can always type a question into the chat box. There is going to be Q&A scheduled at the end of the presentation, of course, but you can go ahead and type it in as you think of it, if you want to. If you're having difficulties with this webinar, the easiest thing to do is log out of Zoom and then come back in. If that doesn't work, reboot your computer. That fixes 99% of the problems. And if you do have to drop off or you can't get in, don't worry. We are recording this and I'll be able to send it out to everybody that had signed up for the event. So here's our agenda. We're going to tell you a little bit about Expedia Cruises and specifically our three locations. Our promise, then I'll bring on our main presenter, our guest star, that's Jordana. I'll introduce you to her in a moment. What we can offer you, a call to action, and then Q&A to wrap it up. We'll try to keep this to 35 or 45 minutes. That's going to put the pressure on Jordana. So Expedia Cruises, well, we began franchising in 1987. We actually are a Canadian-based company in Vancouver, even though Expedia bought into us in 2007 and now completely own us. So I guess we could call this an American company, but Canadian roots. We've been in business well over 30 years, over 35 now. Even though cruise is in our name, we are a full service travel agency. We can do all inclusives, we can do guided tours through Europe or Asia or South America, whatever it may be, African safaris, rail, you name it, we can do it. More than 300 stores in Canada and the US, and more than 6,000 independent vacation consultants. And that's the difference. These are independent consultants. They work because they love to do this job. They do so much training and follow up and review. They meet you when they need to meet you. They are the backbone of this whole industry. A huge corporate support team to help us out as well and make sure everything runs smoothly. So our three locations, Kingston, Belleville, and Coburg, have actually been around for quite a while. Dale, Aaron, Sandy, and myself are the four franchise partners who run these three locations. Kingston being around since 2001, Belleville 5 years later, and Coburg in 2010. So all the stores have a lot of tenure, and we've got some consultants as well that have been with us for quite a while. We are a large team. We're actually 45 consultants now, and we continue to grow with our Stronger Together culture. So we help each other out, whether it's a consultant helping another consultant in the office, whether it's store helping store, or whether we help another store in Calgary or California. We help everybody out with our Stronger Together culture. Our promise is advice that you can trust. We also offer the best choice in prices, give you Expedia extras wherever we can, free upgrades, complimentary dining, onboard credits. But we're more than cruise, as we said. We offer you the complete vacation so nothing gets missed and you don't book air that arrives after the ship leaves. We'll help you with all of that. And we're always there for you before, during, and after your trip to make sure it went smooth and make sure everything was fine. So at this point, I'm going to ask Jordana to jump in. I've known Jordana for a number of years. We worked together when we both worked for Expedia Cruises head office in Vancouver. And then I went one way, she went another. She is now the director of national accounts and business development for all of Canada, not just Eastern Canada. So I'm so proud of her. She's done so well, and I've got such an ally in Jordana, and I'm so pleased that she's able to do this presentation for us tonight. So Jordana, I'm going to have you take it away, and let's discover the world of Viking river cruises.
Thanks so much, Dan. That is a great introduction. I greatly appreciate it. We have known each other for some time, but some things never change. We are still making dreams happen for all of our clients to travel the world by the waterways. The reason why I came over to Viking is I love working for Viking. We've been around for 26 years, and at Viking, we believe a trip should be more than just a trip. We believe you should discover places all around the world. And we started with that, I mentioned, over 20 years ago with our first four ships. And this pretty much started the modern river cruise industry as we know it today, delivering engaging in destinations on the rivers. Now, in 2015, we grew into an ocean cruise line. So we have that same destination focused cruising as we do on the rivers as the oceans. And This has led us to become the top small ship ocean cruise line. So, after leading the river cruise industry for 2 decades, reinventing ocean cruising, we have now taken our vessels to the both the poles and the Great Lakes with our Viking expedition. So, with Viking, you'll be able to explore all 7 continents with us. Now, we are going to focus on river today, but the great thing about Viking is we are consistent throughout all of our brands, river, ocean, and expedition. Well, much about cruising is delivering beautiful ships with theme park style attractions. At Viking, we are focusing on the destination. So we aren't going to be everything for everybody. We are that cruise line if you are that curious traveler. That traveler that is interested in history, culture, geography, you really want to get into the most intimate nuances of the destination. Now, on our cruises, especially our beautiful river cruises, we sail into the heart of the destination so you can explore some of the world's most iconic cities and quaint towns. Now, as an effective operator, we want to provide you with a cruise fare that's going to include everything you need from Wi Fi to shore excursions, but nothing you don't need additionally. Now, you combine that all with our amazing crew, who I just had to say goodbye to last week. And you are going to have an excellent experience exploring the world with a Viking. Now, why would you want to take a river cruise? River cruising is a great way to explore the rivers around the world. So much is seen from the ocean ships, but on a river cruise, it's really more intimate and an immersive experience as we go through. So the rivers themselves, they have been going through, they've been built throughout history, I should say, um, with all the cities along them, right? Think about it. They used to be the highways of the world of Europe at that time. So traveling down the river, not only do you get to walk in the footsteps of history, but you can really get a true understanding. Um, if you've traveled like planes and coaches and cars, you don't really get a chance to get the offers of a river cruising and the enjoyment of these beautiful small towns that are lit up along the rivers. Now, you're going to see some great cities as well. Some of my favorites along the rivers, like Paris and Vienna and Budapest, just to name some few. Now, another great part of river cruising is the intimate experience. All of the ships themselves, they're small ships. Um, they're very intimate that allow fewer guests on board of the ship. So you get a chance to get to know your travelers on board. If we switch to the next slide, you'll get a picture here of our beautiful Aquavit Terrace. And it's a great place where you can meet new friends, talk about your journeys, talk about your different interests as you're traveling around the world. A lot of our guests, they're very well traveled and they like to share different experiences and stories as they go. Now, my favorite thing about river cruising is it's convenient and comfortable. I have had a great career, and I know one thing I can say is I've yet to learn how to pack properly. And what I love, I actually backpack through Europe. I've done the buses, the rails, the trains. But what I love about river cruising and cruising in general is the comfort. You get to unpack, you get to relax, and you get to enjoy the comfort of home and wake up each day in a beautiful new place. It's also my favorite, it's smooth sailing. So, being in the cruise industry as long as I have, I do suffer from motion sickness. And when I'm on board the river ships, they do a lot of the cruising at night, and it's truly smooth as we go down, enjoy the beautiful views. Now, not only do we have the beautiful views, we dock in some of the most iconic locations, and it's walking right out of the ship and they're at your doorstep. Like this picture we're looking at here, this is Budapest. And what we're looking at here is the chain link bridge, and that is where our ship is docked. So you can walk right off. Enjoy the city at your leisure. We offer you more time in port. So, if you're an ocean cruiser, you would know your average time in port is maybe 3, 5, sometimes 6 hours. On a river cruise, we are there from early in the morning until usually after or at dinner time. So everything is right there for you to explore at your fingertips. Now, not only do you have the destinations to walk out and enjoy, the views are something spectacular. One of the things I mentioned earlier, I showed you the Aquavit Terrace. One of the things I love is sitting out there and enjoying the views as we sail by maybe some of the beautiful vineyards and towns and the castles. Uh, I have about 1,001 pictures of probably every river you can imagine because every turn we take is just beautiful scenery. It's one of the great allures of river cruising. Now, we all have different travel needs. And I love it because some days when I travel, I want to be as busy as possible. Other days, I want to have a more relaxed pace. And it depends who you're traveling with at that time, too, right? You might have your different interests. You might want to go to an incredible museum, and your travel companion may want to go shopping. And you'll be able to do that at your own pace and really get to enjoy as we go through the different excursions and what you want to do. My favorite part is when you come back on board of the ship. Not only is it inclusive pricing, but when you come back on board, um, you will get to sit down and enjoy conversations with your newfound friends about your experiences ashore. Now, our pricing, as I mentioned, it's an inclusive pricing, which is quite nice. And this picture actually sums it up is after you get back from port and you talk about your different journeys, you meet your newfound friends either at the top deck. And if it is lunchtime and dinner time, we serve beer and wine. We have 3 meals all throughout breakfast, lunch, and dinner, some snacks available. But what is nice too is all of our tours will be you get one free tour that's included. So what is quite nice is they're English speaking guides, local guides, and you can share all of this experience with your newfound friends. All right, so what Viking has been doing is we created all of our cruises to be that destination focus and culturally enriching. And we've carefully curated every single one of them. So what does that mean to you? Well, it's all about the destination, even when you're on board of the ship. We believe my favorite part about destination cruising, of course, is the food. And at Viking, we believe food and wine are a big part of the journey. So all of our highly trained chefs on board of the ships, they're really passionate about providing an enriching culinary experience. So what happens is when our ships dock out a lot of the cities that we go to, we locally source the ingredients that helps them create those authentic dishes to the region we're in. So you can feel that you're still in the destination when on board the ship. Now, we pair it with complimentary wine, which is quite delicious every evening as well. So on board, we are known as the Thinking Person's Cruise. And Dan, you might have to click this a couple times. This is meant to be, didn't load properly. So one more click and we're good to go. So on board of the ship, we, as I mentioned, want to be involved and have you involved in the destination. So we're known as the Thinking Person's Cruise. So we really want to help you enhance your travel experience when you're on board. So we have a beautiful library on board of the ship, and they're very curated to the destinations we're sailing in. To our guest lecturers we bring on board of the ship, to our beautiful Viking resident historians and cooking classes with our chefs, and the wine tastings with our sommeliers. When you're on board, we want you still connected to the journey as possible. Now, if you want to personalize the journey, this is what I like to. We have our program directors on board who are always there to assist to do something special. If there's some sort of history with your family that you want to go see a certain venue, we can do that. Or if there's a special dinner you want to do. Now, what's going to happen when you're on shore? On shore is my favorite part of the as I mentioned, we're there for most of the day. So you're going to wake up in the morning, and usually in the morning, depending on what city we're in, you will enjoy your included shore excursion. So this is going to be providing you kind of like a must view of the cultural and historic highlights you're going to see with some delightful surprises. So we do this on river as well as ocean. And expedition. So we make sure we include a shore excursion in every port to bring you closer to that destination. For example, on the rivers in Nuremberg, we'll take you through their complex past of World War II. You'll get to explore one of the largest castles in Germany, the Wurzburg Palace. Or maybe if you want to do an ocean ship, Tuscany will, of course, take you to Pisa to experience that. Or, of course, expedition, Antarctic, you can go kayaking in glaciers. So what's going to happen on the river, especially, is we'll take you through that included excursion in the morning. Now, what can you do in the afternoon? Well, This depends on you and how you would want to travel. And this is why you work with my friends at Expedia Cruises, because they are very knowledgeable about each of the different ports. And so with Viking, we offer additional shore excursions that you're able to work with your Expedia consultants with. Now, the first type of excursion that we offer, it is called local life. So we like to provide you kind of that fascinating insight to what it's like to be in the daily lives of living in that location. So you might want to do an incredible culinary tour through Budapest, maybe enjoy some children at an elementary school that we go to. Or what is really nice is we really enjoy doing a lot of the local stuff. So in Cologne, they have a great beer culture where you'll get a chance to immerse yourself in the day to day culture of Cologne, or maybe enjoy dinner at a local village. As I mentioned, this is the ability to get you into the local life. Now, we also have working worlds. So, getting to know the fascinating insights of the world of work. So, what is bringing the economy in that region? So, we have different things like you can go explore some of the most incredible wine cellars in the Vaca Valley, maybe hunt for truffles in France. We also do some incredible stuff like bring you into the Kinderdijk windmills on our ocean ships. Maybe you want to do some Murano glass blowing, or in Scotland, enjoy a bagpipe workshop. We really want you to tap into that world and get into it. Now, we are going on an incredible journey, and there are certain places you might want to celebrate. And we at Viking have friends and family all over the world, and we have the ability to open different doors, let's just say, than the average person. So we can truly get you into something very special. Maybe it's in one of a private home or a palace to do a cooking lesson. Maybe enjoy some folkloric music, back scenes to the ballet or opera. One of my favorite things that we do, of course, is our Mozart and Strauss in Vienna. Elma Deutschester, who's pictured here, she's an 11-year-old musical genius and has written her own symphony. She's incredible to watch. So if you want to do something different, you want to celebrate something unique, and there's a destination you're going to, I recommend to work with your Expedia consultant. Now, let's quickly go over what's going to be included in the cruise fare that we're going to talk about a little bit later on. So you get one shore excursion in every port of call. All of your onboard meals, wine, beer, soft drinks with lunch and dinner, specialty coffees and teas are always available. A little FYI, these always get me. Every afternoon, they bake fresh cookies to go with the coffees and teas. You won't be able to walk by and just have one, I promise. But we have bottled water in the stateroom that's ready available for you, free Wi-Fi. If you do any of our cruise tours, we have beautiful first-class hotels, in-room entertainment system, and all of the port charges and government taxes as well. So we've talked kind of about Viking. We've talked what's going to be in the experience. Let's talk about the ships quickly before we get into the destination. What's beautiful about all of our ships, they're all designed the same, completely identical, with innovative engineering that allow us to navigate the historic waterways. We deliver a seamless, consistent experience. So no matter what ship you're on, it's going to look like a Viking ship. All the crew on board is going to be led by Viking. Now, our ships, they're very elegant. No matter what you're on, river, ocean, expedition, they're stunning. They have been thoughtfully designed to connect you with the destination in every possible way. I love no matter what venue you're on any one of our ships, especially the long ships, you just need to look left or right and you can look outside and be connected. There's also these beautiful, elegant, spacious dining areas, intimate lounges. We have great calming areas for everybody to get around. We do a really unique job of bringing in our Viking heritage. So you'll see unique things where we showcase our natural grains in the wood. Our staterooms, incredible as well. They're a great place. They're meant for you to wake up, relax. So we have our king size beds with luxury linens, offering you every detail that you can think of, from full size toiletries to multiple outlets, including USB ports. We have full size toiletries available. We pretty much have a stateroom category that will meet everybody's need, from our picture windows all the way up to our beautiful suites at the back of the ship. All right, let's get into some destinations. So our river cruise destinations, We sail all around the world. So you'll be able to journey into the heart of Europe, Asia, Egypt, and we also cover the upper and lower Mississippi. Today, for my first time river cruisers on, I'm going to make it a little easier and help you start where to start your focus on river cruising. So, the two main rivers, especially for my first time river cruisers, are maybe you've been on one river and you might want to do another. These are the ones I would recommend to work with your Expedia agent. The first one is the Rhine, pictured here from Amsterdam to Basel. The Rhine's one of Europe's most beautiful waterways and one of the most important waterways. So you'll get to go visit Amsterdam, the beautiful windmills of the Netherlands, and we'll continue down to Basel, Switzerland. The next is the Danube River. So the Blue Danube um, has some of my favorite cities. You'll visit Budapest, Vienna, Bratislavas, Passau, and Regensburg. Now, one of the questions I get asked all the time is which river cruise is my favorite? Now, to pick between the Rhine and the Danube, it's really hard to pick. That's like picking your favorite child. So I would recommend working with your Expedia consultant on our Grand European Tour, which is our 15-day journey, because you'll get a chance to do Amsterdam, the Main, and the Danube. So let's continue quickly on this journey, and I'll give you a highlight of some of the ports that you're going to do. So we visit Amsterdam. This is our start of the journey. So you're going to work with your Expedia consultant. If you book your air with Viking through your Expedia consultant, we will greet you at the airport. We will bring you to the ship. Now, this is why you work with a consultant, because they are going to advise you. If you show up the day of embarkation, you're going to miss Amsterdam. So keep that in mind. And Amsterdam is an incredible city with their iconic narrow houses. You'll get a chance to spend time there. Now, we'll sail in the evening. The next day, you'll get to visit Kinderdijk, the windmill dotted waterways of the Netherlands, which is breathtaking. The history of the Netherlands and the waterways is incredible, where two-thirds of the Netherlands are underwater. So you'll get to learn about all the history of this UNESCO site. There's 19 windmills here, and you'll get to learn the working of the windmills. Now, everybody will return back on board for lunch, and we will display some incredible Dutch Golden Age information as we continue on to the next city, which is Cologne, Germany. So one of the largest cities of the Rhine. Usually when we stay in a large city, we're there usually until late in the evening or early the next morning. So you'll have plenty of time to learn about the long history. The Romans settled here back in 50 AD, and it's interesting because when you go through the architecture, they have the mix between the old and the new because the city was completely flattened by World War II. Also, this is where you're going to experience one of the most incredible evenings. The Cologne beer culture is a lot of fun. And with Viking, we can bring you around during the evening to experience it. Now, we will be sailing throughout the evening to make our way to the Middle Rhineland. So, this is where we're going to enter into the beautiful Rhine Gorge, where you're going to get a chance to see the castles that are known about for many of the years. One of the castles you'll get to explore is Marksburg Castle, pictured here. It was an interesting castle because it was used for protection rather than as a residence. Now, everybody will be back on board by lunchtime because we're going to do my favorite sailing. This is where we sail down the Middle Rhine River. And everybody on board will get a chance to hear our program director talking about the beautiful castles. So from the towns of Koblenz to Rudesheim, there is a castle every single mile, and they have great stories to it. And you'll get to enjoy and relax and hear the stories. The next day, you will be waking up and we will be in the Main River. Now, the Main River, this is where Snow White was written about, right? Quintessential Germany. You got the half timber houses of Miltenberg that date back to, I think, about the 1300s. You'll get a chance to walk through this picturesque town and actually learn how wealthy this region is due to the flourishing wine center and fish and lumber that's here. But this is a great wine region. And you'll not only get a chance to stop in Miltenberg, but we will make a stop in Würzburg, Germany as well. So Würzburg is a city that was destroyed in World War II because of the bombing. And then they painstakingly rebuilt. But the one thing that wasn't destroyed with the bombing is, if we turn it to the next slide, you'll get to see the Würzburg Palace. Now, this palace, it's the residence of the Prince Bishop of Würzburg, one of the largest castles in Europe right now. And it is absolutely stunning. And you'll get a chance to go through and really understand the story of what happened in this incredible city of Wurzburg and the castle itself. So they have a beautiful giant fresco, what we're looking at here. This is the largest fresco in the world. It's in a 23-meter vaulted ceiling. I tried to look at it for a while. Your neck does get a little sore, but it's absolutely fascinating to go through. Now, once we make our way through the mine, we're in the World War II section. So we're going to go through a lot of history of World War II from the mine into the Danube Canal, especially when we hit Nuremberg. So you'll get to experience the complex past of Nuremberg. We'll visit the Nazi parade grounds, the Zeppelin field, the Palace of Justice. But what I love about going to Nuremberg is not only the medieval walls that you get to walk around, but how they have come back from where they were to become one of the largest toy producing cities in the world. Not only do we get to see Nuremberg, but we also get to see a true medieval city called Regensburg. Now, Regensburg was the only city along the Danube that wasn't destroyed by any World War II bombing. So it is truly a medieval city. It's been around since, well, I know there's 13th and 14th century patrician houses that you'll see, and you'll get a chance to go into this splendid cathedral. It's a great town to get lost and walk around in before we make our way to Passau. So we're in Bavaria now. And Passau was founded over 2,000 years ago by the Celts, and it is known as the City of Three Rivers because this is the Danube, the Inn, and the Ilz rivers meet here. Now, because of its strategic position here, there's a lot of history as we go through the city itself. I love the houses that you're going to go walk through, the beautiful pastel facades of the houses. You'll get to see St. Stephen's Cathedral, which is home to the largest pipe organ in the world. Now, you'll be able to walk around our ship docks right at the bottom of the old town. They have great shopping here, one of my favorites. We will continue on from Passau and make our way into the Wachau Valley. So the Wachau Valley is a beautiful valley area, and it had its heyday during the 12th century. Today, it is home to a lot more abbeys and different churches and as you go along the way. And we will make a stop at an abbey for you to visit, True Working Benedict Abbey. One of them that we're looking at here is the Gottweg Abbey, which overlooks the beautiful Danube River. And you'll learn the importance of these abbeys, what they've done for the wine production in the valley. It's a morning tour because as you're starting to pick up, everybody has to come back on board for lunchtime because this is when we do another beautiful scening. So, nestled between the towns of Melk and Krems is the Austria's Wachau Valley. It is stunning. So it's a 30-kilometer stretch along, as I mentioned, between Melk and Krems. But what's along the stretch is the beautiful wine valleys of Austria. Plus, of course, there's the historic cities. You'll see beautiful crumbling ruins and castles and fortresses. On board, our program director will be sharing the stories yet again of this beautiful region. And you'll be enjoying different Austrian specialties for lunch as you're enjoying all the views. Now we're in Austria and we're going to head to one of the most famous cities in Austria, and that's Vienna. And like walking through Vienna is like walking through a fairy tale. You'll see one horse and carriage trot past another ornate palace after another. And we're here usually overnight, so we'll give you plenty of time. Our guided tour will bring you to see the most remarkable buildings circus around the Ringstrasse here. You'll have time to go explore the beautiful Hofburg Palace and the Winter Garden. And as I mentioned, we're in the evening. So in the evening, you can enjoy a beautiful concert at the Opera House. The next day, you will have a full day there. I'd recommend you can either, if you're into the art, they have the beautiful Albertina Museum. I love Schönbrunn Palace, the Versailles of Vienna, as they call it. Mary Teresa, the only female ruler of the Habsburg, ran there. So you'll have a chance. Now, Budapest. Budapest is one of those cities that constantly ranks the top 10, and this is the end of our Danube cruises. So you will have a chance to overnight. What's great about Budapest, it's the dual city. So Pest is on the east side, which is the more lively part, and Buda is on the west side. And a lot of the key stuff that you need to see, you'll be able to see it within a day. So you'll have plenty of time to explore the Pest side. As soon as we go over to the Buda side, this is my favorite side. The city dates back to an old Stone Age. And for my visiting history buffs, you will have a choose between the Roman, the Neo-Gothic, the Renaissance, and the Ottoman architecture, like at the sites that we're picturing here. This is Buda Castle to the left and Fisherman's Bastion. And there is also Matthes's Church, which is one of my favorite churches in Europe. This church, and this is a big thing for me to say because I've seen a lot of churches in Europe, but it is the coronation church of all the Hungarian kings. So it's absolutely stunning in there. You'll have plenty of time to explore. As I said, we overnight. So in the afternoon, you might recommend to stay up here and enjoy an apple strudel at one of the oldest areas. You might want to go on an additional excursion. But what's going to happen the next day is this is the day we're all going to have to say goodbye. So on the final day of your voyage, you'll get to disembark. If we purchased your flight through Viking, we'll ensure you get back to the airport for your return flight. Now, if you're like me and you want to maximize on your overseas flights, work with your Expedia consultant because they can make sure that you can explore more. At Viking, we offer explore more packages. If you are cruising the Danube, there's one piece of advice I can give you is make sure you tell your Expedia consultant that you want to enjoy the Prague extension. Prague is one of Czech Republic's most vibrant capital. It's the city of 100 spires, but I love it because it is absolutely friendly. They have a great heritage and the people are proud of their city. So add on Prague. If you're going to a different destination, we offer a different array of city stays or excursions. If you want to try something new, so maybe you've done the Rhine, Danube, and you might want to look at a more cruise focused on wine. Now, all river cruises focus on Rhine, wine, including the Rhine and Danube. For example, the Rhine, you have the Alsace wine region. The Danube, you have the Wachau Valley. But there's some regions that just hit close to home. For example, France. Our Chateaux, Rivers, and Wine, which is an 8-day journey, takes you through one of France's richest kingdoms to explore the fountains of the beautiful Bordeaux, maybe truffle hunt in Perigord, or you could try your hand at creating your own cognac blend. There is a lot for you to do, plus explore the Saint-Emilion, the Médoc, and the Sauterne wineries. If you want to go to the south of France, now this is where I was last week. I fell in love and I want to go back already. It has all my favorite things. First of all, history. You have the great Roman history, the amphitheaters that's in Viviers. You get the steam train in Turn-On. But my favorite is the food. I love the food of this region. Lyon has more Michelin star restaurants than anywhere else. You have the famous Paul Bocuse, and you have the wine regions of Chateau Neuf de Pop. You have Beaujolais wines and Côtes de Rhône. We also have Portugal. If we're going to talk about wine, we must talk about one of the world's oldest wine countries. The Douro River Valley is a UNESCO heritage site, and it is an incredible cruise tour to explore. We call this a cruise tour because you'll get a chance to view Lisbon in a couple nights in a hotel. Not only are river cruises for history wine lovers, but they're for history buffs. Dan, can you click one more? Because they're for history buffs, all of them are great. If you're going through France, if you're going through the Danube and the Rhine, but there's some itineraries that jump out. So for example, we have our beautiful Paris to the Heart of Normandy itinerary. Our ship is small enough that we can dock right under the Eiffel Tower, leaving you an overnight to explore Paris straight from the ship. Now, the Seine River, you get to walk Claude Monet's footsteps in his beautiful gardens of Giverny. You'll get to learn all about Joan of Arc in Rouen before we make our way to the Normandy beaches. So we do a Canadian tour that will take you to Juno Beach, and you'll get a chance. It's called the Commonwealth Tour. You'll get a chance to go visit the British beaches, and you'll get a chance to see Pegasus Bridge. Or if you wanted to join the American tour, we offered that as well. That's 8 days down the Seine. Our Capitals of Eastern Europe is a unique itinerary where you can discover an important part of World War II. And we will get a chance to go visit the seldom sections of the western part of the Danube, past the Iron Gate, giving you time in Bucharest to explore the beautiful castles and the countryside of Belgrade and many more. The Elegant Elbe is a history down the Elbe. This will take you through the Protestant faith and walk through the Martin Luther's footsteps of his 97th thesis. Not only that, you'll get 3 days to explore Berlin and Prague as well. So if you are interested in any of these destinations, it's important to talk to your Expedia consultant. If you want to go and explore some off the beaten paths and maybe explore one of the greatest civilizations that emerged along the Nile here, we have our Egypt river cruises as well. So these are what we call cruise tours. We'll give you a few days with our Egyptologist in Cairo before we fly down to board our ship in Luxor. And then here you'll get a chance as we sail to explore the Temple of Karnak, Queen Nefertari's tomb, the Valley of Kings. You'll get to wander the Aswan spice markets. So this 12-day tour will give you a true understanding and a walk through history. We also visit Southeast Asia. So we can go to Southeast Asia and explore the Mekong. You'll get to shop maybe in Hanoi at the beautiful markets there, explore the complex of Angkor Wat, and really get an understanding of the different temples and explore this unique area. It's one of on my bucket list. We have a brand new ship there with only 80 guests on board, and it's absolutely beautiful and comfortable with the Viking Scandinavian design. Now, welcome to the Mississippi. So if you don't want to go too far, we do have our Mississippi vessels that are sailing the mighty Mississippi. These are 386 guest vessels. So these vessels, designed like our ocean ships and the same Scandinavian design, this is not a paddle wheeler. I get asked this quite often. It is an engine boat, but we offer 5-day itineraries. So 5 different itineraries, I should say. Our 5 itineraries, we will travel, if you take a look at the next slide, we will travel along the lower Mississippi, focused on 4 of the itineraries. So the lower part of the Mississippi, some of my favorite areas, you got the Creole history, you got the Civil War history down here, the music, the food, it is incredible. We offer 8-day and 12-day itineraries in the winter months. And then in the summer months, that's when we travel up to the northern parts to walk the footsteps of the pioneers, to go visit St. Paul and St. Louis and really visit some of the seldom visited parts like Hannibal, Missouri. So work with your Expedia consultant. We have over 100 different cruise itineraries that will take you to different regions around the world at different times. One of my favorite questions I get asked is when's my favorite time to cruise? I say my next time or whenever I get to go next, but I do personally like to cruise in the shoulder seasons. It's a little bit cooler. You get met with a rain shower, but it's not as busy. The summer months are a lot of fun. If you enjoy the warmth, there is bigger crowds, but the river banks are lively and going easy to explore. There's also Christmas time. Christmas time is a great time to see all the different areas that are lit up along the rivers. Now, what are the average pricing along these cruises? So if we take a look as we're sailing, and I'll talk about the exclusive Expedia offer, but I want you to quickly mention to your Expedia consultant, if you want to cruise this year, August of 24, July of 24, as I mentioned, it's a great time to go to Europe. It's nice. The weather is gorgeous. We are offering cruises from an 8-day cruise, 36.99 Canadian, including air. If you want to do that 15-day journey that I just took you on, we have some 2024 departures that are available, including air for $55.99. So please keep that in mind. Reach out to them. And why do you want to book with Expedia? Because they are a great partner of ours. And we've worked with them for many of years, haven't we, Dan? And what
Yes.
we're going to be doing is we are offering an exclusive offer, an exclusive sale during the Legendary River. So that's going to start here in about 15 days. But I don't want you to let this ruin to hold off on your booking, because if you decide to book now and between the 18th, we'll make sure you get the offer. So the offer is $150 shipboard credit per person. That's a $300 shipboard credit per cabin. Plus, you'll get a complimentary bottle of wine in the cabin. So this is available for all of our 24 to 26 cruises. And it's exclusive offer. It ends on the 24th. So this little window is a Viking exclusive. Now on the 25th, Expedia is launching their legendary rivers. So we will continue on supporting Expedia and their incredible legendary rivers, but we're not going to give you as rich of an offer. Now, I shouldn't be telling you this and trying to get you all to book right away, but it's important for you to know if you wait until the 25th, you're going to miss out on another $100 per cabin shipboard credit plus the bottle of wine. So work with your Expedia consultant now on booking your next Viking cruise. All right. So that is it for me tonight. I am going to switch you back over to Dan because I think he has a special offer too, as well.
Well, thank you, Jordana. I really appreciate that. You always do a stellar job. As far as the offers go, yeah, you're absolutely right. Viking is the premier presenting partner for our Legendary Rivers month. So they have that first window of opportunity to book everybody, and they have come to the table with the richest offer. And then after their first week is over, all the other river cruise lines join them, and they offer amazing promos as well as does Viking, but it's not as rich as that first week. So if you think you're going to be going or interested, book it in the first week and take advantage. The other thing that we've done, because we've been in this industry for a while, we know what to do, and with Jordana's help, we went ahead and we pre-purchased our agency purchased to put the money out to buy pre bonus offer vouchers. So we spent $100 to buy these coupons that entitle you to $200. So if when you make your reservation, you want to purchase one of these for you're reimbursing us for the $100, we bought them on your behalf, you will get a $200 credit. So basically, you're getting $100 extra for free. So those are great. Not everybody has those. The agency has to put up the money to buy them, and we did it because we knew the sale was going to be extremely successful. So those can be layered on top of everything else. So there's lots of options for you to walk away with some great savings and some bonus perks on this sale. What your vacation consultant can offer you is the personalized service. In center is best. If you can meet them, make an appointment, come in and see them, there's nothing better than doing that. They get to know you. They want to see your passports. So they book your name correctly off your passports. They'll check validity. They'll talk about insurance coverage, what you have, what you need, what you may already have. They can do a Zoom or a phone initially, but ultimately you need to get together. This is a complex product. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to look at, stateroom location categories. You need to speak to someone to do it. We will find you the best value and options. That's what we're trained to do. That's what we're very good at. We find we're like truffle hunters ourselves when it comes to travel. Group rates and promotions. If we've got them, we'll give them to you. Help you with all the documentation. We will take the responsibility to help you figure it out. We offer the complete vacation. It doesn't just end at the cruise. Are you going to Toronto the night before? Are you overnighting at an airport hotel? We have two there with contracted rates, special deals with parking. We'll help you arrange the flights, whether it's through Viking's Air program or through something that we can find. We'll do transfers if it's not applicable on the product that you booked. We'll do pre-stays and post-stays if it's with Viking or even without Viking. We'll book everything we can in association with the cruise. If you want to do alternate shore excursions, we'll help you do the complete vacation. It's one-stop shopping. We're always there for you. And if you are a member of Expedia Rewards, and if you aren't, you should sign up. You will earn, depending on your level, your status with Expedia Rewards, you'll earn one, two, or three times the point value based on the dollar spend of the cruise. So the cabin category or the duration that you're gone, that ends up being a lot of points that can translate into free hotel stays. If you are a TD or RBC point collector, as far as their travel card program goes, did you know that you can redeem points to pay towards a cruise, whether it's a river cruise, ocean cruise, expedition cruise, it doesn't matter. We will help you figure that out. You can get the bank to pay for some or part or all of your holiday, depending on how many points you have. We'll show you how to do it. We're the preferred partner for TD and RBC for their redemption program for cruise. And there's a third big bank that we are getting as well. It's in the works. Here's your call to action. Review and update your travel wish list and prioritize it. What do I want to do now? What's coming up? Figure it out. Decide not if you're going to do it, but when you're going to do it. We lost 3 years to COVID, everybody. We don't want to have that happen again. You can't get that time back. Book an appointment with us and get in before the space and the rates changes. Jordana mentioned some special offers in July and August right now. They've got some extra availability. That's a hell of a deal if you can get it for those prices for prime summer. If you can take advantage, do it. We have the show offers. Take advantage of those. Tell a friend or a loved one, go with another couple or two or three or some of your family and make it a memorable vacation. So right now I'm going to go and take a look and see if we have anything in our Q&A. And if so, I'll address those. If anyone has wants to put their hand up and ask a question, you're more than welcome to do that as well. There's nothing in the Q&A, Jordana, good job. And I don't see anybody with their hand up at the moment, but I'll give it a second. Um, Jordana, your ships are phenomenal. Viking has 50% of the market as far as river cruising goes. They are by far the leading brand for river cruising in Europe. Everyone knows the Viking brand, and they do a phenomenal job. I've been on your ocean ships. They do just as stellar a job on the ocean ships. Haven't tried Expedition yet, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, but we'll get there. And I'm sure I know that you did it because you did Antarctica at Christmas time. You did the polar plunge, and then you sat in the walled glass steam room on Christmas Day. I saw your Facebook post. That must have been amazing.
It was probably one of the best Christmas vacations of my life. I was fortunate to do not only Antarctic on expedition, I've sailed the Great Lakes on our expedition ship too.
Oh, fantastic.
Mhm.
Now, I've sailed south of France on river cruise, and the one you just came back from, it is really an amazing destination, but it's not typically the one that first timers do. They often will do the Danube or the Rhine, like you said, or one of the most popular ones we get is the full 15-day, the full trip and cover it all, which is very, very popular to do. But there are other things such as the south of France and the Douro in Portugal is incredibly popular. So lots to choose from. All right. Well, I don't see any questions and there's no hands up. I want to keep this on schedule. Thank you, everybody, for taking the time to join us. I appreciate it. Jordana, thanks so much for you. Oh, there is one question here. What is the most traveled and recommended Christmas market river cruise?
Oh, well, you just said it, Dan. The Grand European, the 15 days, the most recommended because you get to see the Rhine and the Danube markets.
Yeah, so much there and all in doing both of those rivers. Great. Appreciate that. Okay, so I am going to, at this point, thank everybody again for attending, and I'm going to thank Jordana for taking the time to do this. And I'm wishing everybody safe travels, and please connect with us. We'll help you get things figured out and help you get booked on a Viking river cruise. Thanks, everyone. Good night.